The Akashic view of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki originate in a solar system that has two suns. Around these two suns orbit 8 planets. 3 planets orbit one sun with 4 orbits around the other. The 8th planet orbits around both suns, taking the equivalent of 3,600 Earth years to do so. The 8th planet is known as its inhabitants as Anu, as well as Nibiru. This is obviously where the Anunnaki originate, although their solar system is known as Velos, after the primary solar system consciousness, and the inhabitants of the solar system are known as velon. The velon people are semi-physical in energy patterns, and so are much less physically dense than we are, although collectively they are known as the velon. They have divided themselves into 6 different races. These racial differences are difficult to describe in human terms, but seem to follow a kind of religious division. The 6 races are Joan, Oa, Mila, Janda, Hathor, and Anunnaki. These divisions are a little like countries on Earth. We do not call ourselves Earthlings or even humans very often, but prefer Italian, Australian, Russian, etc. Another analogy would be people on Earth being known by a religious belief: Jewish, Christian, Islamic, Buddhist, etc. It is the same with the velon. Most of the population live on the main planet called Velos, but also inhabit several of the other planets, as well as having technology which allows them to travel freely throughout their galaxy. Some time ago, a disaster happened in Velos system where one of the planetary moons collided with one of the planets, causing a great deal of destruction, and the population of that planet moved to other planets in the Velos system to avoid the catastrophe. The homeworld of the Anunnaki, called either Anu or Nibiru, had an atmosphere which contained very dense particles in order to keep the surface habitable as the planet travels the vast distance as it orbits around both suns. The nearest description of what this dense substance is made from would be gold dust. There's your monatomic gold story in the Bible. As far as the solar system itself is concerned, the primary solar system consciousness, Velos, appears to have lost interest in its solar system as the suns are slowly dying. The velons are people who have kept themselves very much to themselves, with very little contact with any other ET races. In fact, they seem to have remained primarily within their home galaxy. However, about 1,000 years ago, one of the velon ships broke through the energy boundary of their home galaxy and discovered an energy flow. Throughout this universe, there are always free-moving energies. Some of these energies flow targeted at specific regions to, say, help in that region's development. Unfortunately for us, the energy flow detected by the velon ship was a primary energy flow directed at our solar system. This energy is intended to help us in our experiment on Earth and is directed at Silbury Hill in Wiltshire. The reporting of this energy flow caused a massive revelation within the Velos system and sparked a race to try to be the first of the 6 velon races to arrive at the end of this energy flow. The Velos consciousness seems to have had some kind of strange religious moment at this news and began to see the velon as God's chosen people. There's your Jewish stuff. Who should live on God's chosen planet. In other words, the velon should move to Earth. The first velon ships to arrive at our solar system did so about 300 years ago. On seeing that the Earth was inhabited, they decided to observe rather than to land. They had landed on Earth at that time. Humanity's chance of still being on Earth now would have been very slim. Again, there's a great deal more detail available that I have space here for. The majority of the velon races decided that they did not want to supplant other peoples, so they went on to a new solar system, leaving what could be called the conquest of Earth to the most aggressive of velon, the Anunnaki and the Hathor. What must be remembered is that these two groups were in competition with each other, with the prize being the domination of the Earth. Now, how many of you have heard the story with these UFO people saying, the prize is Earth? Well, you've heard it from Max Spears and all of them. To achieve these aims, the two groups took two different courses of action. The Hathor, by approaching people through the channeled means, they were very successful at this and persuaded one large group in America to sow the seeds of humanity's destruction for themselves by building two devices called celestriums. These were copper-lined shafts 333 feet deep, which were packed with programmed quartz crystals. Essentially, they act like giant tuning forks buried vertically into the ground. I'll be right back.